Howdy, folks. It's Sunday night at 10 o'clock, so it must be time for another special family fun edition of Exploit Nation. I am Uncle Bill, and this is something we've never ever talked about before. As far as I know, like we've never talked about these movies. We've never really even talked about this genre of films, but I know that like a lot of us are fans of it, so this should be interesting. We're going to be talking about ninja movies tonight, and in particular, like a set of movies that kind of defined what ninja movies would be in the United States, and one that really popularized it. But of course, as always, I've got a whole panel of people here that are going to help me talk about these damn ninja movies. And that is starting with one of the most beloved YouTubers of all time. There's never any controversy on his show. He always makes everyone happy with his opinions, and he's always like there to help anyone. What are you doing, man? Rambo?
Well, I
You
State
just
Farm Insurance. I'm always there with a helping
yeah.
hand.
Like I know that there's no trolls on your show. Nothing ever happens that like makes anybody angry.
It's all copacetic.
Yeah. The show just always moves forward and nobody ever gets pissed off about any kind of opinions that you have. But it's good to have you here to talk about ninjas.
Absolutely. This would be fun. The days of Canon, very highly missed.
Oh yeah, man. Like there's something about these films when we start talking about it, like they have a look and like an atmosphere that's all their own. So this will be interesting. And my next guest, of course, is always fashionably late, but somehow he made it on time this time because I guess there's no deliveries to be made or anything like that. Uh, but we got the impressionable stuntman Mark. How you doing, man?
I'm good, guys. How about you?
So
Business is going good.
business is good. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. As far as you know, though, have we ever talked about ninja movies or any ninja movie for that matter?
I've heard CK mention Sho Kosugi a few times, but
Yeah,
nothing in depth to my
yeah.
knowledge.
I know Ninja 3 was a big one, like for him,
Mhm.
but you know, it'd be interesting if we had him on here though to talk about these type of movies and talk about Ninja 3 and stuff like
Yeah, it
that.
would be.
But that'd be exciting if we had him. Look here, bulls. There he is.
Yucky!
Shit, he's coming out hot.
I was waiting on that.
How's it going, Bulls? Yeah, I was looking back on Patreon. That's how I can, that's my memory now because I can't remember anything. I just have to search the Patreon page. But yeah, I don't think we've reviewed or talked about in any detail these Canon Ninja, which all these are Canon films, Machanum, and, Golan and Globus or whatever, and Sho Kosugi and all this shit from the early 80s. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I revisited a couple of them recently, then watched a couple more just the other night. So definitely brought back memories and everything. And I've always been a big fan of the Way of the Ninja.
So, what I was thinking about, and probably Sick will be the only person that understands this, but I'm pretty sure that the first person that I ever heard reference any kind of ninja movies was Jared. Like, I'm fairly certain that he was the one that like watched all these movies. So we got a buddy that's like been a friend of ours since high school. That's one of the, like he just likes the weirdest shit you can ever possibly imagine, and like ninja movies.
Well, it's a lot of the same shit that we like, so, to be fair.
Yeah, except he was about 10 or 15 years ahead of us. I think I'm like all the stuff he liked.
The interesting thing about Jared is, he's old school in a lot of ways. So he still has a flip phone. He never signed up for any sort of social media or anything like that. He still does not have a Blu-ray player. He buys DVDs. And a lot of the stuff that he likes is the same exact stuff that he liked in high school. So he hasn't changed at all.
Doesn't he still drive like a S10 from like 19 that thing has to be like 1995, 96,
93, I think.
93.
93.
Shit. Yeah. So I mean, He's about as old school as it gets. But anyway, let's see what we got in the chat real quick before we get started. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's 4 movies here. People Batman nerds in here. I wish we could have used that. Preminator's in here.
Ninja.
Xenomorphian. Danny's in here. Scratch is in here. Bog Zombie's in here. Business of Fear. Prince Tomato.
Hmm.
Good to have Prince Tomato. Foz Rotten's in here. Talking about the Kumite. There's some interesting comparisons to be drawn between one of these movies and Bloodsport. I can't. He's in here.
He's your favorite. Uncle Bill's always had a fondness for Black Peter ever since way back.
Real Fright's in here. The mayor. Let's see. Facebook user. Always love it when Facebook user shows up.
Facebook user in the house.
Eli Cortez. Keith Stofferson. That's killer name.
Yeah.
Suspiria Knight's in here. Manic Exorcist. There's a lot of old school people in here too.
Did he really wrestle in AEW? I must have missed that. Sho Kosugi.
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't remember that at all.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
And I've never seen this name at all. Zach. I'm going to not even try to pronounce that last name, but
Charavel, Bulls. Charavel.
Charavel. I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe Sho
All right.
Kosugi was the manager for Riho.
Hey, look what I found, Bulls. Look at this.
Now that's
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Ninja. Man, like
Canon logo.
the home media and stuff back then was, look how classy this is, man, for a videotape. Jeez. What kind of packaging did they even call this? I don't know. But it was nice. I've had this for many years. Many years.
What the hell were those called?
That's before my time. I don't. I have no idea.
It's weird because they had like the big boxes, but that's totally.
It's almost like a, I don't know what in the hell you'd call it. Somebody in the chat probably knows what it's called.
There was the big
Is that
box, the clamshell. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that one was.
Is that VHS you've had for the longest time, or is that one you bought in recent years?
I've had this for probably 20 plus years, maybe longer. I don't know. I think this is one. Do you remember that bookstore that's near Paintsville called,
Yeah.
what was it called? Words and
shit.
stuff or something
Words
like
and
that?
stuff. Yeah, words and shit.
Words and shit. And I think I got this one
Words
and
and stuff.
Ninja
That's
3.
what it was called. I swear to God.
there.
It reminds me of that Beavis and Butthead episode. It's like
Dude,
words,
I'm not kidding. Like,
stuff.
we bought, because these were VHS tapes that had been there for probably since the 90s, at least at that point in time, because there was like an inch thick of dust on all this shit. And we scored all kinds of VHS tapes from that spot back in the day.
Yeah. It was weird because they had people that were bringing stuff in like almost weekly there too, and would like, change stuff around and trade stuff in and out, and like that became like the place to go for a long time.
Cool.
Does that place still exist?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably
Been there
not.
years.
I wouldn't think so.
So, well, since you brought it up, I mean, chronologically, Enter the Ninja is the first film that we need to talk about anyway.
Yes.
It was probably the one that was responsible for kind of like starting off like the trend of movies like this. 1981 was when Enter the Ninja was made. It's weird because it's not like your typical, I mean, it is in some ways, but it's not in other ways like your typical ninja movie because, like, first of all, Sho Kosugi is not the star of this movie. He's actually the heel in the movie. And secondly, the star is Franco Nero, which is such a weird fucking choice.
Such an odd choice. Very odd.
He's the head ninja. Like,
Yeah,
he
Franco
barely
Nero,
moved.
the same dude that was Django, like 20
the
years
original.
earlier, whatever it was, and did a
I mean,
lot
he's got a cool look because the mask like covers everything but his eyes, and Franco never had those like eyes that were like the pale blue eyes or whatever. But he can't do anything. It's very obvious. Like he can't.
That's my biggest issue with that movie. He didn't know any martial arts. He didn't try to learn anything, which I give credit to Michael Dudikoff, and we're going to talk about American Ninja later, but at least he learned during production and even became a black belt, apparently.
Yeah.
But when you watch some of those scenes with Franco Nero, like when he's trying to disarm that guy with the knife, it looks so ridiculous because like it's his face in the shot, but you can tell he has no idea what he's doing.
So yeah,
He had a bad voice as well. They had to dub him. I mean, it just
Right. Because, like, yeah, he never really mastered. If you listen to him in interviews now, he can speak English, but not very well. So he
Right.
definitely couldn't pull off, you know, an American accent, let alone, wasn't he supposed to be from the South or something
Yeah.
like that in this
Mhm.
movie? Yeah. So there's no damn way. That Franco Nero, though, like, yeah, this is a definite, like, this is an oddball movie for him to be in, really, because this is the only, you know, martial arts movie that he ever did, right? Did he ever do anything else besides this? He did a lot of westerns and
no.
stuff like that, but
I mean, he's in films later. Like I think he's in John Wick 2, but like he doesn't do any martial arts. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
He's
a very
briefly in like
weird
newer
choice.
movies and stuff, but yeah.
Mhm.
Well, from what I
wait.
understand, it was going to be this guy named Mike Stone, who was a choreographer, and then he would actually be the bad guy in American Ninja 2.
Mhm.
But they wanted a star name, I guess, because internationally Franco Nero was known as Django. They're like, yeah, you don't know martial arts, we don't care. We'll dub you. We'll just double you. It don't matter.
he was like a last minute replacement, though, right? It wasn't like ever planned that he was the star from the get go.
You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really know what the hell's going on.
So I wonder, like, and I don't know if you guys, I haven't really done a whole lot of research on, like, as far as trivia behind these movies or anything, but Sho Kosugi, like, how did he get, because, like, this is the first of many, many, I don't know if this is the first, he may have done some ninja movies before, but this was the big one that kind of, I mean, what got him to do this movie?
Not really sure. I think he did do something with Bruce Lee before this.
I was going to say,
But,
like, I'm pretty sure he was like on the set of some of those Bruce Lee movies. I'm not sure in what capacity or anything like that, but like that's where most of these guys got their start. If you notice, like they all like, you know, Jackie Chan and a lot of these guys like came off of those Bruce Lee movies.
Mhm.
So I'm going to assume it's probably that. I'll tell you what, and speaking of Bruce Lee, this movie is basically like, I know it's called Enter the Ninja, but it's basically like a almost direct rip off of Way of the Dragon. If you think about it, if you just insert ninjas into that storyline, it's almost
Mhm.
exactly the same film. So I don't know if that was his input or if that was just the studio or like Mike Stone is the guy that wrote it. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know, like,
Well, I think the thing with Cannon Films and Golden Globus or whatever, like they were pretty much like the filmmakers were pretty much given free reign over whatever they wanted to do. I don't think that there was really that much of a restriction on, hey, this is too much like, you know, one movie or the other. They didn't give a shit at all. And like this was almost the blueprint, I guess, for the other ninja movies that would soon follow. And they were, you could tell like this one, and I don't know what you guys think because this has always been my least favorite of the three ninja movies.
Same here.
But I think a lot of that is they didn't really, it's much like those early Friday the 13th movies in that they didn't know what the formula wasn't there yet exactly. Like they had some aspects of it,
Mhm.
you know, the opening 13, 14 minutes of this movie. That's what we're talking. That was Revenge of the Ninja all the way through that fucking, like they kind of got it, you know, with the second movie. But you know, this one's very well made. The new Blu-ray that they did, man, it's a beautifully made movie. I think, was it made in the Philippines or?
Yep, the Philippines. This one, yeah.
Okay, I think a lot of them were made in the Philippines.
Tell you something about this movie or about this edition of this movie. It has zero anything on it. It has one audio track, no subtitles, no special features. Like that's it. Like you get the fucking movie and you like it. Like there's nothing on this whatsoever. But Yeah, so like what you were saying though, I thought the opening was, I thought, oh, this is gonna be amazing because the opening's insanely good, and the opening turns out to be basically just a training montage for Franco Nero to become a ninja. You
Mhm.
find out
Right.
going through it, but it's just him fighting other ninjas. By the way, real quick though, just on a practical level, how stupid is it to have a white fucking ninja? Like the point of ninjas is that they can't be seen, and like in any environment, a white ninja sticks out. Like
I thought the
fucking,
same thing.
unless you're in the Arctic or something like that. Like, but
Right.
anyway,
They had red ninjas in this
they
too.
did.
Like,
They did, yeah. I'm not sure. They never explain the differences between them, like if it's like a black belt or I don't know, like what the different colors mean. But
By the way, you're wondering how Sho Kosugi got to be a part of this. He was actually friends with Mike Stone,
Mm.
and they had worked in like martial arts schools and stuff. So, since he had written the script, which originally was called Dance of Death, he sold it to Cannon. It got retitled, and then it's like, "Hey, why don't you come be in this movie?" And then, then Mike Stone got fired, or let go. Is like, "I'm not going to star in this anymore." So I'll just be working on choreography.
Sho
You don't have to
Kosugi's
worry
like,
with this
I don't
Franco
care.
Nero guy.
I'm still gonna be in it.
Exactly.
yeah, fuck are you?
So
Franco
I mean,
Nero.
if I could give you like a belief, that's the ninja way of saying brief. If I could give like a brief synopsis of this movie, though, it's basically Way of the Dragon. Like this guy, he goes and visits his friend in the Philippines. Franco Nero, I mean, goes and visits his friend in the Philippines
After he graduates from the Ninja
after he
Academy.
graduates ninja school.
And they set it up kind of that, what is his name? It's not, I want to say Nakamura, but I don't think that's it. Like Kazugi's name. He's like the other main ninja that doesn't like Franco Nero, his
Oh yeah,
character or whatever. So they kind of set that up early on while he just graduates from the Ninja Academy.
yeah. I can't remember his name.
Hasegawa.
Okay.
Mm.
Hasagawa.
Sounds right. He
It's
gets
the brief
there, and
summary.
there's like a bunch of like business owners that are getting picked on by this local group of thugs that's run by Christopher George. Now, Christopher George is in all kinds of like horrible European
He's in some
movies.
Fulci movies
He's
too.
in some good Fulci movies too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was his gimmick, I guess. Like him and his wife, Susan, by the way, who's also in this movie.
Susie.
Like they're in all these horrible movies, I guess because they couldn't get work in the States. But like, so eventually, like Franco Nero kicks everybody's ass. Christopher George decides to hire his own ninja to fight Franco Nero, who the ninja that he hires is Sho Kosugi. So that's where you get,
Hasagawa.
yeah. And
Gazunda.
that's the biggest problem with the movie is the middle part where it's Christopher George and all these fucking like goons and bullshit, and there's no ninjas. There's no ninjing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like action. There's no nothing.
Well, finally, towards the end, though, they do have like a pretty killer ninja battle.
Oh yeah, yeah. The end.
Empty arena ninja match.
Yeah, it's like a coliseum, very similar to the Way of the Dragon.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
this
when he shoots the bow and arrow, and the guy, it's like falling off, so the guy has to hold it because the arrow's ready to fall off. It's funny.
And this is the only movie that we're talking about tonight that was not directed by Sam Furstenberg. This one was directed by Malcolm Golan. And I thought he did a pretty good job with the directing on it. I mean, visually, I think. Now, I watched the second movie on a really, really shitty DVD. But I will say that the cinematography and everything on Enter the Ninja, I think visually it looks the best of the Kosugi Ninja trilogy. I think cinematography on it.
I feel like this movie was trying to be really serious. Like later on, they would figure out like that these movies are supposed to be campy and kind of like gory and stuff like that. But in this one, it's like they're really trying to play it like dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some really bad acting in it, but like
And
and
they
some really bad
failed.
effects.
Yeah.
But like they're trying.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure
they
what was
failed,
up with the script. Like you got, like you were talking about, the middle is kind of dragging a bit. You got guys like Will Hare pop up from Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah,
older guy who
the
says
old grandpa. Yeah.
Christmas, yeah, is the
Yeah, he has a pretty good size role in it too. Yeah, he's in it
yeah.
quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then is this the one that has One Arm Willie in it, or what's that guy's name? The guy with the hook. Isn't he like the? I think this is the one where like the lead henchman's got like a hook for a hand. And he goes around like fucking like
I don't know.
shaking people down with a hook.
The villains in these movies, though, especially the main boss, like this one is Venarius, Mr. Venarius, who's the millionaire businessman
Yeah.
guy or whatever, just totally like off the wall, like evil. Like nobody
Mhm.
could be that goddamn mean.
He is.
But yeah,
I will give him credit though. Like you said, like the beginning and the end of this movie are great. It's just they've got there's another weird thing that happens in the middle where it's like Franco Nero's subtly hitting on his best friend's like wife, and she's kind of she's kind of like put off by it, but simultaneously kind of like wants to, it's very.
she's like, I bet he has a soup can, Dick.
I think they just ran out of shit to do, and they were like, "Well, we put in the middle of this film. We'll put this half-assed
Yeah,
kind of love story."
yeah, it's very yeah. It doesn't fit in the movie really either. But they needed time to kill because this movie was what? It's only like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, overall, Enter the Ninja, just like you said, is like an introduction of these movies, but it doesn't have like an idea of what ninja movies are going to be yet. Like what the formula is, what it should be. It's just there's a bunch of stuff thrown in there and see if anything sticks. And I think the things that stuck are the beginning and the end because that's all the action, all the
Mhm.
weapons, all of the actual like fighting sequences and things like that are in those.
And the success of this movie is really what led to all those other ones being made. I mean, I think this movie did pretty well. Had a pretty small budget, as most of these movies do. So this led to what? I mean, there was like a gazillion ninja movies that came out after this,
Mhm.
Yeah, so I looked this
all
up.
throughout the 80s.
It on a budget of between like there's different kind of variations, but between 2 to 4 million, it made 15 million. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing for that time period, especially. This movie's also notorious for the scene where Christopher George dies. Like that
Yeah.
scene is on like a ton of YouTube. Yeah,
He's like,
he gets hit
did
with
I
the
die?
ninja star, and he's falling over. He's like,
Oh.
I don't know what the hell that is, but it's great. Like I don't know what decision that was to make.
Maybe he thought that maybe it's thinking of Fonzie. This is how Fonzie would die.
That's
Like,
what it looks
hey,
like.
Well, Mahanan was probably the exact opposite of like Stanley Kubrick. It was like, let's hurry and get this shit done, boys. That's good enough. That'll work.
Well, yeah, if you can watch that scene and think, yeah, that they definitely were trying to hurry.
even the beginning was funny because for those who haven't seen it, it's someone using their martial arts in different ways. Okay, he's Billy Badass. And ends with him being sucked your tits by another guy. Like, I see you, kicks the guy in the face
Yep.
without even looking. It's like, well, you need eyes on the back of your head, apparently. You can do all this stuff, but a kick to the face ain't going to fix that.
Now, if Enter the Ninja is like the Friday the 13th, then Revenge of the Ninja is Friday the 13th Part 5. To me, Revenge of the Ninja is probably I'm just going to say it like up front, like Revenge of the Ninja is probably the best ninja movie that I've seen of any of the ninja movies that I've seen. I think that it has everything you want in a ninja movie. If you're a kid, an adult, like give a shit who you are, like it just has like all the ingredients that make
The pacing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the story, everything. It's
I mean, there's nothing in this that's like it's immediate. It starts off immediate. There's you can't take a breath in between. Ridiculous, like scene after ridiculous scene. I mean, a lot of it is silly as shit, but it's great. It's good cheesy fun.
within the first 5 minutes, there's like a ninja slaughter where a little kid gets a throwing star stuck in his head. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? Like,
that's the scene you can't forget.
I was like,
Yeah, they
Jesus
didn't care.
Christ.
They
They
did not
really
care.
like they came out of the gates and they were like, you know what? Like, we're gonna really
You know
fuck with y'all.
what's funny though is that was also Sho Kosugi's son, Shane Kosugi. They're
Mhm.
Shane and Kane bulls. What the
Right.
fuck? If I don't have any kids, but if I ever did, if they, especially if they were twins, I don't know if these boys are twins or not. I think they were. You're just going. Of course, they have to learn karate and shit because they're going to get their ass whipped. Kids making fun of them and shit. And, oh, here comes Shane and Kane.
That's actually the plot in a lot of these movies too. Is like them getting bullied. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's the one of my favorite scenes. It's so killer. His son Kane
it
taking
goes
out the
on
bullies.
forever too,
Yeah.
man. It's like 10 minutes. For some reason, when I saw that, like, it reminded me of the like when Rob Zombie like Halloween movies where he's getting bullied. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but like,
Well, the scene with the granny, like there's a few scenes with the granny, but the one where
oh my
like, her
god,
death
dude.
scene or whatever, like
Awesome.
that's the one scene that I never could forget. I was like, holy shit, this is just fucking
I about
nuts.
pissed
Like, it's
myself
fucking-
when I saw that. Like, I was dying laughing because it's clearly a double, and it's like she's like, yeah, ninjaing it up, doing backflips and shit. Anyway,
Mhm.
like, so this is all these ninja movies basically have the same plot, by the way. So, a ninja clan comes in and kills Sho Kosugi's entire family. But like the entire damn family gets killed except for like one,
entire village.
yeah, one infant like baby that gets hidden doesn't get killed, and
And then
that's Kane, I guess, right?
finally, Sho Kosugi shows up and then kills all the fucking like ninja
Yeah.
guys. No
So
problem.
this is the first 5 minutes of the movie, by the way, like just utter chaos, like fighting, death, just all over the place.
Yeah. And he has like a businessman friend from the United States that wants him to sell, you know, he's trying to start up like an art gallery selling art and dolls and stuff like that. But Sho is like, no, my family is here in Japan. And this is the only movie really of the three where Kosugi is like given a lot of lines throughout the
Mhm.
movie and everything. And I swear to God, man, it like every time he spoke, and I was telling Uncle Bill this, Master Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. That is his voice. Fucking Sho Kosugi. No.
I can see that.
That's got to be like a dubbed voice, right? Like that's not.
I don't know.
I mean, I gotta think that that's.
I
Dubbed.
think it
Seems
is.
like it was dubbed.
Yeah.
I thought
Um,
that was his real voice.
If it is, man, that's awesome. That's even more awesome. So real quick here, the best ninjas are the possessed, exercise kick ones. Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, that work on electric poles too. Just
Yeah.
for the hell of it. Or phone poles or whatever she was doing.
Apparently, Sho Kosugi was an extra in Godfather 2. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Uh,
Somebody
this
said something about
Yeah.
they didn't think ninja movies were exploitation movies.
yeah, I saw that.
I mean, I don't know what he really means by that. It's
Well, I think he's saying like he was saying something like most exploitation movies are like sleazy, and there it is, hyper sleazy. But really, the term exploitation gives it away because I mean you're exploiting one theme, right? Which is ninjas, which
Mhm.
is like the whole basis of all these movies.
I'd consider it hyper violent. I mean, there's a lot of
It
blood
is,
spraying in the first 5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially Revenge of the like
yeah.
Revenge of the Ninja is insanely gory for just an action film, really.
Mhm.
That's why it was so crazy you brought that opening up, because this was one of my first VHS memories where I remember seeing that opening, and for a decade I never knew what the movie was. And then I thought, did I dream this? Was this a nightmare I had for some reason? A kid getting a ninja star to the head?
yeah.
It wasn't until years later, maybe till when the Blu-ray came out, I'm like, oh, it's this movie, okay. And it's great. I mean, one thing about the first one, the music sucked. The music in this is great.
Yeah.
I recommend anyone check out on YouTube. Rob Walsh did the score. The track called Ninja Raiders. That track was used in so many movie trailers. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Countless movie trailers. Like you said, Sho Kosugi. I love the bit where he flies through the windshield.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
A few
stunt
people
work in this,
stole
the
that
stunt
move.
work in this is all, and it's mostly him too, and you can tell like because the camera doesn't cut away. Like
Mhm.
there's large action sequences that involve like him jumping on the back of trucks and like into cars. That's just him.
That entire van sequence is
Yeah,
it's a
that's the,
standout sequence in the movie. That's probably
the,
my favorite. I mean, he kills
yeah.
Don Shanks,
That's great. So man,
aka Michael
Oh, yeah.
Myers from Halloween 5.
there's
AKA
so much
Tatanka.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to talk about though, because
He
like
broke it in half.
not only is Don Shanks in this as like a Native American like thug or whatever, but he's using all like Native American weapons and shit. Like he pulls out like axes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
He's
Jesus
going to
Christ.
scalp him, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Mess with him. Also, Toro Tanaka is in this too, who's been in a ton of shit. He used
Oh,
to be
yeah.
a wrestler in like the 60s and 70s. I think most people would remember him from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I think he was in that as a bodyguard or something. He's been in a ton of shit. But
I
yeah,
always remember him from as Sub-Zero
yeah,
from Running Man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, around this time period, he was doing a lot of movies, like in the early to late 80s, I think, especially. I think he was in that movie Body Slam as well, as like a bodyguard or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this, he's also a bodyguard of the boss in this, who looks like a fucking poor man's Joe Pesci. That's kind of how he acts.
It's exactly what he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's great. He does a great job. He's entertaining as hell. But yeah, he's the Tanaka's character is like supposed to watch Kathy, I think is her name. It's kind of like the love interest for Sho Kosugi. She's a big-breasted, blonde-headed girl that Kosugi is kind of like interested in, I think, or whatever. And then just out of the blue, Tanaka gets horny or whatever, and he's just fucking going to have his way with this.
And that's
like,
one of the sequences too, because he's just falling on her and shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, there's nothing like.
he just decides to get his turtle muddy, boy.
It looks like a walrus just like falling all over itself. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. But there's so many random sequences. Like, I'll just name a few that I can remember, like off the top of my head, that are fucking killer in this movie. Just random sequences. Okay. There's one where Sho Kosugi's kid fights the woman in like a.
Yes.
He has to fight her off because she's trying to like kidnap him, which is fucking hilarious.
It's
This
great.
kid is freaking tiny too.
He's killer too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I
Mhm.
mean, he's
He does
amazing.
a really great job in it. Yeah, he was like, I think he was under 10 years old. This movie was
He had to
made.
be, yeah. There's the grandma sequence, which I was like, oh my god, like the old woman ninja, where so
Oh,
basically the main villain is like this silver demon mask ninja that's going around killing all these people, killing all the mob bosses or the not the bosses, but all the mob henchmen and stuff. And then like eventually turns on some of Kasugi's people and he's trying to kill her. And it turns out she's apparently a ninja or something. So she like is doing all the flips and shit and then uses the smoke bomb to like get away and all the ninja stuff, which that's another killer thing about this movie. There's so many different like ninja weapons in this. And there's a fight sequence with her that's amazing. All the stuff with Don Shanks and his group of thugs that goes on for about 15 minutes and it's fucking killer. Like everything about it, like that fight
Yeah.
sequence.
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
Essentially, the entire movie is a big fight scene.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it
there
really
is
is.
a little bit of a story. Like the whole story is, this Japanese art gallery is secretly selling like what is it? They say it's
Heroin,
I think?
heroin
Yeah.
inside of the little porcelain dolls or whatever. And
Mhm.
Kosugi, of course, doesn't know about it, and it's run by this I think the big boss, the Joe Pesci guy or whatever. Like, there's always drugs of some sort involved, drug trafficking or whatever
Oh, yeah.
else. So I mean, that's, I guess, the only plot really.
That goes back to the big boss too. I mean, that goes back to like the first Bruce Lee movie. That was the plot of the first Bruce Lee movie, was that they were smuggling drugs in the warehouse
Yeah.
and all this shit. So I mean, that's as old as you can get for these martial arts films. But like, I made a list because I was like, I'm going to just watch this and I'm going to write down every ninja weapon or ninja technique that was used in this movie. So here we go.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because it was so killer, I had to. So we got ninja hypnosis, which is the silver like demon mask guy hypnotizes.
Right.
He
the
just does
woman.
that.
Yeah. Throwing stars, knife, spears, swords, katanas, smoke bomb things, jacks. Like, I don't know what else to call them.
That's
Like,
what I
they-
was thinking. What do you
Yeah.
call them damn things?
And then there's a scene where he throws these little silver marbles down a hallway and he's got the jacks laying out and this guy falls face first into him. It's killer.
He's like, ah!
Flamethrower hand, which is killer.
Right. Yeah.
Bows and arrow, size, grappling hooks. I had to look this up because I didn't know what it was called. Kusarigama, which is the grappling hook thing that's got like the Grim Reaper looking
Yeah.
thing at the end of it,
Mhm.
and kunais, which are apparently ninja throwing knives.
Also in this movie too, Sho Kosugi has a belt buckle that has a ninja star attached,
Yep.
so he can
Mhm.
quickly, fling it and knock somebody in the noggin with it or whatever.
Wait, you forgot one. Wasn't there? There was a dummy. Like at the end, he has like a fake dummy. So when he cuts it, it's like a fake person. And
That
somehow
happens
he
2 or
replaces
3
it with
times
a
at the end. Yeah, like
It's like a robot
did
or
that come
something, isn't
from?
it?
Mhm.
yeah, like
Where'd he
he
pull it out?
creates like
Where
fake
did he hide it?
ninjas. Yeah, I don't know. He's just setting them up along the way. I don't know, but that is good.
paying.
Caltrop is what the jacks are called.
I just
Huh.
yeah, let's call them jacks.
You
That's
just have a whole
exactly what they
handful
look
of
like.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker.
He also spits them out of his mouth, right?
Dude, that scene was
Right,
fucking
he gets
killer too because it was completely unexpected. It's like the Great Muda or something where he rips his like mask part down and he just spits those things in his face and then it shows them like all stuck in there. That's the thing too. Like I'm pretty sure this was cut theatrically, but like this version here is
Mm.
not cut that I know of. So like you see all the gore and everything that was in it, including
Well,
the end.
Yeah, the big scene, and I don't know. I mean, I know that Tarantino did this a lot in Kill Bill or whatever, where like blood is literally gushing out, squirting like crazy or whatever. And I think that's the uncut version of, when he kills what do they call the ninja? The Silver Ninja or something like that?
He's got a name. I just call him the Silver Demon Mask Ninja because that's basically what he is.
So literally, like I think there were some movies before this, but yeah, this is one very similar to like Kill Bill, where the blood is literally like exploding out of the body or whatever. It's very graphic.
Yep.
So wait, Uncle Bill, you have the Blu-ray, and that one
Yeah.
has a commentary on it, right?
Yeah, it's got a commentary with the director, I think. Hold on.
From what I remember, he said that there is a longer cut of the movie because it's like 90 minutes even. That's what Cannon wanted. Like it was originally a 2-hour cut, and I don't know if any of the deleted scenes are on that one.
No, there's no. The only special features are the commentary and like an intro.
Okay, yeah, there are some. There's some cut footage somewhere. I did see something about us getting a 4K of that pretty soon, so
I was
hope
told
they could get the full version.
Slippy pretty much, and he doesn't tell us much, but he came very close to saying, yeah, there is going to be a new version of that coming out at some point from Kino. So I'm looking forward to it, man, because I only have a little shitty DVD of it, which I guess I could showcase this. I didn't think I was going to get to see this movie again, but yeah, I do have it on DVD with American Ninja and Rage of Honor, which I don't know if I've ever seen Rage of Honor, but this is like, if you want to see if the ninja movies are your thing, then if you don't love this movie, then just don't watch any more of them. Because
That's
I don't know.
exactly what I mean, like, this to me is the pinnacle of ninja movies. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know that it gets much better than this. Like, I mean, just everything about
Have
it is
you
perfect.
seen his other movies? Like, okay, you mentioned you didn't see Rage of Honor, but like Pray for Death,
I've got Pray
Nine
for
Deaths of the
Death.
Ninja.
I've got Yep.
That's
Yeah,
the only
Have you
other one
seen
I've
any of
seen is
those?
Pray for
I've
Death.
got
Oh yeah.
I've got Nine Deaths of the Ninja, and I'm positive that I've seen Pray for Death because I remember that VHS cover. But
Yeah.
it's been a long time since I've seen that. Nine Deaths of the Ninja, I don't remember being that good though.
And I think the last film he did was Black Eagle, where he fought Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mhm.
I
I remember
I think that was
that.
the last one he did.
Dude, like, there's so many like ninja movies that could have been on this show, but I mean, we can't. We got to keep it
You can
to
always do another ninja
yeah.
episode down the line.
And I mean, we're talking about. I'm not even talking about just like Sho Kosugi movies. I'm talking about like there's a ton of ones that
Hmm.
don't have anything to do with him that could have been on this, but there had to be
So I
lines
was
drawn.
curious. I know we're soon going to get to Ninja 3 and we're talking about Revenge of the Ninja, and they both have these crazy openings. Why do you think people don't do that nowadays? Like start with a bang. Like are there any films recently you've seen of any genre that have that sort of bang at the start to really get you in the mood? And if not, why do you think they don't do that? Do you think it's too they want to be
No,
more
because
serious?
I mean, to give you an idea, like when I watched, this is just the first action movie, the last one that I can think of and that I watched that comes to mind. So, like The Beekeeper, right, with Jason Statham, it doesn't really have like a memorable opening, but
It's
it's
all set up.
mostly it's mostly because like that's exposition. That's what they do
Mhm.
nowadays. Like the beginning of these movies are all to like set up the character and what his fucking motivations are. Where these movies are like they just start fucking they're just throwing
Mhm.
stars and shit at people like immediately.
But with
Right off
that
the
one,
bat.
like the first 20 minutes, yeah, it's all exposition. But after that 20-minute mark, it's all nonstop chaos and violence.
Yeah. But I mean, just coming off the top of my head, I think that's what most modern films do nowadays. Like they
Mhm.
don't start with like a kick ass kind of sequence like that. They start with just building up everything around the movie. And that's probably also Marvel's fault because fuck them. But
Yeah.
everything has to be explained for 2 hours.
No, I mean, something else though that I wanted to mention on here, and I don't know if me and Uncle Bill's ever talked about this. So, ninja has like a negative connotation in Europe. Is that right? In England, they will not use, like, for instance, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in England's like what? Teenage Mutant
Hero
Turtles.
Turtles. And Michelangelo's nunchucks they delete, and they just have them use a grappling hook because apparently swords are fine. You can stab people, you just can't hit them with
Can't
nunchucks.
have
I
none.
don't know what-
That's killer.
That's
but
very
you can stab
offensive to
someone.
Englishmen.
That's like the least deadly weapon of any of them, but like that's the one.
I wonder what the deal is with that, really, though. What were these movies called in England? I'm curious. Does anybody in the chat know? Anybody in England? Let us know.
That's a
Because,
good question.
yeah, because this is like, I mean, these are all ninjas all the time in these movies.
I can tell you though, real quick while he's looking this up, that this was also a huge hit. I think it was even bigger hit than the first one. On a $700,000 budget, it made $14 million. So I'm assuming the budget for the first one was Franco Nero and Christopher George. That's probably the majority of the budget. And without them, they were like, hey, we can whittle this down pretty easily. So
A lot of people are mentioning Ninja Assassin, which was that was a pretty big movie, probably what, 12, 13
yeah.
years ago.
2009. That was Sho Kosugi's
Sho Kosugi-
return.
Yeah, he was in that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He
He
was
was
the
the
main
bad
bad
guy.
guy. Yep.
That was a hit. Was that a hit? I think it was. It did pretty
yeah, it
good. Didn't it?
was kind of, wasn't it?
No, the budget was insanely high. It was like
Oh, okay.
50 million or something. I think it made like 60. So not exactly a hit.
I was telling I think I was telling Wes this last night. Like there's a show on Netflix right now that's called like House of the Ninjas or something like that. House of Ninja. It's in the top 10 shows I was like, what the hell? Like, but apparently that's still a big thing.
We got Jason Guy in the chat too. He's a big prop collector, and he's a big fan of Kosugi. Evidently, has some of the props from
Oh.
Pray for Death, so that's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm wondering why they don't get Kosugi at any of these fan conventions or anything. It seems like he would do pretty well.
I'm sure. Has he never done one?
I don't think so. Not that I've heard of,
Hmm.
at least. Although he's getting up there in age, he's got to be at least in his 70s at this point.
Son of a bitch. He
I
should
mean,
be.
he has done interviews. I forget which Blu-rays they were, but I think Black Eagle, and he's done interviews for other releases. I think Rage of Honor, he did an interview, so he's obviously willing to talk about this stuff. Just they don't ask him.
He said he did a Chiller show. So Chiller sometimes gets some guests that don't normally do conventions. So that's pretty cool.
Let's see. So apparently, I don't remember this, but Sho Kosugi plays the villain in Ninja Assassin. So
Yeah, I forgot about Joel
Alright.
Silver produced that. I forgot that.
First Power says Blind Fury should also be mentioned on the stream. I completely agree, but I don't. Is
That's
that a
a lot of
ninja
fun.
movie?
No.
That's like a
He's
that's a
Kosugi-
killer fucking movie.
Sho Kosugi is in it, I believe. Right? Isn't he in that movie?
I have no idea.
I think he's
I
in
hope
it.
so, because I mean, Rutger Hauer's amazing in that.
I
movie.
watched that movie not too long ago, man. That movie is actually really fucking great. It still holds up.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. He's the assassin who fights at the end. Yeah, that's a good movie. Get Bruce Lee. He's dead. Well, then get his brother. That's a fun one.
Chaz says that he watched Revenge of the Ninja, American Ninja 1, 2, and 3 on Tubi because he knew we were going to talk about him tonight. Well, I don't think we're going to talk about American Ninja 1, 2, and 3, but that would be killer.
Can you believe that? How many fucking did they make up to 5?
There's
American?
5
I think
of them.
so, because
Yeah.
towards the end, isn't it the Jackson character takes over, and it's not even like anything to do with.
No,
No,
it's,
David Bradley.
yeah.
Mhm.
He's in 3, and then he's in 4.
With
Martin
Dudikoff.
Dudikoff comes back for 4
Yeah.
as well, and then David Bradley's in 5 because part 5 was not meant to be American Ninja, but they used the title to sell it better. So
Dude,
American Ninja, it was a different movie. They took the
I
title.
think
can't
Steve
wait to talk
James,
about
who plays Jackson, is in the 3rd movie. He's in the first 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in that
Uh,
and Avenging Force, and then he
Mhm.
went on to do his own films with Sam Furstenberg.
Cauldron is releasing Ninja Terminator on Blu-ray, and that's the one where ninjas printed on the headbands. Okay. Kosugi deserves more respect. Pray for Death is the best. He got his ninja suit and sword from it. That's kick ass.
Yeah, if there's a door you want to open, the name Godfrey Ho, there's hundreds of films he did. What he would do is he would take 2 films that weren't finished, or he would take a film that didn't sell, cut half the movie, and then just add a bunch of random ninja footage. And it's like everyone has like ninja on their forehead. So it's like, here's a movie, then it just cuts to people with ninjas fighting.
I mean, that's a killer idea, really. I wish they do that with like Madam. If Madam Web just like right in the middle of it had like a bunch of ninjas come out, that movie would be fucking awesome. I bet it would have made a fortune.
I think one of the best things, probably still, in my opinion, the best thing that Vinegar Syndrome ever did was recutting the New York Ninja movie that they released a few years ago.
That's another one I wish that I would have.
I couldn't fucking believe it. Like because the whole story with that movie is, it was considered lost. The audio was gone wherever they, whatever they used to record the audio for it. They couldn't even, like, if you go on IMDb, you can't even look up who played who in the movie because they don't fucking know. Like a lot of these actors and shit. So I think, did they use the script? I don't know if they had the script or what, but they brought in all these actors and stuff to redub these parts and make sense out of the movie. And it works perfectly. Like, I can't put that movie over enough. It's a lot of fun.
I did see on here it says that Kosugi did a chiller convention and a handful of cons before COVID, and then that screwed all that up.
What was that movie? I'm gonna write it down that you were talking about. Wes?
New York Ninja.
Ninja. New York Ninja.
That movie's great.
I've seen that one.
It's fucking killer, man. Like I don't know if it's available streaming anywhere, but if you've got any of those sites like Steve has, you'll be able to find it pretty easy.
I think it's still on YouTube. That's
Is
where
it
I
on
watched
YouTube?
it.
Okay.
So I didn't even think about this, but apparently there are martial arts conventions. Wet Movie did a video not too long ago at one. So he probably would be more likely to do something like that.
Did you guys ever get like those black belt magazines, the martial arts magazines back in the day at newsstands? Like I was big into those for a little while when ninjas were crazy popular in like the late 80s, early 90s.
No, I must have missed those.
I mean, I remember them. I never bought any of them though.
Yeah, you could order like all kinds of shit, like samurai swords and throwing stars. And I actually had, when I was probably 9-10 years old, for Christmas one year, my folks got me a fucking ninja outfit, complete with the hood.
If there's any pictures of that, please God.
There may be pictures somewhere, but I have no idea. I'd have to look. But yeah,
Please
like
let there be.
I had it was a wooden samurai sword, though. It wasn't a real samurai sword. Like I don't know what they called those, but I was big into the ninja shit when I was a little kid.
Same here. I actually did take karate for a while. I wish I had stuck with it, but
they didn't have stuff like that here in Eastern Kentucky. Big surprise. But
I think
I probably would have.
I think most people were like at that time period, like in the 80s, were obsessed with ninjas at some point, like, or karate or something. Because the Karate Kid came out, then like all these ninja movies came out. Like it was a big thing for a while. So okay, I mean, I guess like again, you could probably get this right now for about $8 or $9. It's Kino Lorber disc. I highly recommend that you get this. Of anything that we talk about, this is my highest recommendation.
Is that one still in print or is it out of print?
I'd say it's still in print. I mean, I can't imagine they sold out of Revenge of the Ninja. But I'll look it up. So you want to introduce the next one while I'm looking this up real quick? We're going chronologically, so.
Yeah, so this next one, much like Matt said with Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja III The Domination was one of those movies that I think it was on TBS a lot or one of those cable channels. And for years and years and years, I was trying to find out which ninja movie this was because I remember the opening 10-15 minute scene that everybody talks about. And this is Sam Furstenberg too, the same guy that made the Revenge of the Ninja, where fucking one ninja takes out like what?
Like 20 people.
Yeah. The entire police force pretty much. And it starts on this golf course and it's just insane. Like the opening scene, you're like, oh my God, what in the hell? And I think that they take the gimmick and cheese up a notch for this one because this one has, so there's kind of horror element, like exorcism elements to it as well, because Lucinda Dickey's character is possessed by this ninja that's killed in the opening scene of the movie. And she's of course a dancer as well. So it's like exorcist, ninja movie, flash dance or whatever you want to call it, all in one. And the funniest thing is that I couldn't help when I first thought of this, I was like, I just can't take this movie even like half as serious as I did before. Her love interest in the movie is a dead ringer for Disco Inferno from WCW. And I kept thinking, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So
who has a ridiculous amount of body hair like Prince Albert from WWF. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It just kept, every time he walked in with his shirt off, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, he's a furry motherfucker for sure.
So just looking this up real quick, it looks like it is sold out on Kino, and it is sold out. It's not on Amazon. It's not on Kino. But if you go to like Diabolic, you can get. There's a media book of it that you can get for like $40 if you want to get the Revenge of the Ninja
That's what Mark needs to
media
get.
book.
Media book.
So
It's in my cart right now.
I didn't remember Ninja 3 at all, really. I don't know where I was or like how like I missed this. I know that you and I watched it at some point, I think, right? Like years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that opening scene was just like, come on, man. They shoot him like 57 fucking. There's people with like machine guns, shotguns.
You can't
They're
be
like
stopped.
unloading.
Yeah.
They unload on him, and he gets back up and like kills somebody else. So they shoot him again like another 100 times, and then he's not dead. He just kind of wanders off. Like, so are ninjas like zombies? Are they invincible? Like, what is the?
Doesn't he
Well,
like?
They explain it. They say only a ninja can kill a ninja. So that's all the
Oh,
explanation you need
that's
for
all.
that
That's all
opening
you
scene.
need. Yeah.
Like there's a
Makes
police
sense.
chase scene where the ninja's fucking just running.
That's right. The cop cars are chasing me just on foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that the plot matters or anything, but why the hell was he on a golf course? Like,
I don't know.
how
I
did
couldn't
we even start that way for the movie. I
I guess maybe they had access to that and they're like, well, I mean,
right.
know.
Yeah.
we got a good scenery here for the shoot. I don't know. That scene was probably the best scene in the whole film, really, other than what the end where she gets fucking possessed and the guy, what's his name from Big Trouble in Little China, has to try to
Oh God,
exercise
James
her.
Hong.
James Hong, yeah.
How many fucking movies does that guy do? Holy shit, he's in like everything.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not sure what they were going for here. And like, as I was watching it, I was really trying to figure it out. Like I guess they were just combining as many genres as they could to see if they could find something that everybody would like. Maybe.
Well, I don't know this. I don't know if this is true. So I remember hearing that after the success of the second film, they wanted to do another. But I guess they had a 5-picture deal with Lucinda Dickey because they did Break Into this one. I guess they didn't do the other two because those two kind of parted ways. So, okay, so there'll be a female ninja. And they want to show Kosugi because he was a big hit with the second film, but he's like, he was against having no female ninjas. Like, women can't be ninjas. And so like they had, she'll be possessed. So it'd be a guy ninja possessing her. So it's really a guy.
Holy shit.
doing
So
it.
you telling me that like Sho Kosugi sexism caused this movie to be about demonic possession or ninja possession?
Apparently, from what the director Sam said, the audience didn't really like it either. That female ninja was killing everybody. So I guess Sho Kosugi was right.
That's just wrong.
You can't have female ninja.
He told him.
Yeah. No.
He's at a board meeting doing that.
No female ninja.
And so I guess he was influenced by films like Poltergeist and stuff to throw that into the mix.
There's
and then just have weird stuff like V8 sex scenes.
There's a scene in that man.
That'd be the only way I'd ever drink fucking V8, by the way.
Yeah. There's a scene that had me dying laughing though. You know where she's chained up to that like it's like a bar or whatever. He starts doing flips and shit like on it when she gets possessed. Like she goes around like 50 times. Oh my god, dude! There's some hilarious stuff in this. Like, I don't even know if this. I mean, it's got ninjas in it and stuff, but is this really a ninja movie? I guess it is.
Did you notice this too? Like whenever Lucinda Dickey's character has the ninja costume on, like they put like eyeliner on her fucking face to makes her look more Asian.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
Cannon.
You love this movie though, man. Back in the day, I don't know like what you thought about this time, but
I still think it's damn entertaining. Like it's I'd say it's number 2 out of the 3. I think like it was a very impressionable movie for some. Like I probably saw this when I was 7 or 8 years old originally. And just some of the crazy, like you've got all the ninja weapons in it and everything, and the possession aspect as well. It's just very memorable. I mean, I think the battle sequence where, and this is much like what happens at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, right? Because the ninja is back in like original form.
Mhm. He gets his body back. Yeah.
And you know, the Master Ninja versus Kosugi or whatever, the fight scene at the end is really damn good too. Memorable.
Well, this is definitely a movie that does a nice job symbolizing the 80s, because you got the martial arts action, you got arcade machines, because she gets possessed by an arcade machine. I
Right.
guess was a prototype, but the game was never finished, so it's just in the movie. It's got the jazzercise, because that was a big thing in the 80s, all the exercise. Yeah, that movie Perfect with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis. You had all those other movies.
yeah.
So yeah, you had all that combination. That, like, you want to examine what the 80s are, here you go. It's creative,
Mhm.
which is more you to say for movies today. It's at least creative. At least they thought outside the box. Give credit to that.
They're way outside the
it's-
box in this one, yeah.
Matt, you're a big fan of Alf. So did you notice that Mr. Ochmonek is in like almost all these movies? The guy that was the
Yes.
nosy neighbor or
neighbor.
whatever in Alf. I
Yeah.
was like, God, they must really fucking like Mr. Ochnomic or whatever the fuck his name is.
He's a cop in it,
Yeah.
isn't he? I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. He's in like all of them, I think.
Yeah,
I think
he
he's in
is.
all these movies.
Yeah, because he's in American Ninja as well. He's one of the military officers.
He's the head
Yeah.
guy that tries to fuck him over in that. Yeah.
Yep. Mr. Ochmonek.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So real quick, we got a super chat from Puss Meow who says, "What about Beverly Hills Ninja?" Why did we have that one on here?
That might be on the next show.
Yeah, that's a continuation. The Octagon, Chuck Norris's internal monologue drenched with reverb and delay.
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
forever since I've seen that. Our first ninja movie is the Kentucky Fried Ninja, of course. That would make sense. Do you remember the ninja series, The Master, with Lee Van Cleef and Timothy Van Patten?
I don't think I ever saw that.
I heard it was for like one season, yeah. Sho Kosugi might have been on a few episodes of that as well.
Now,
It's funny you mentioned the Octagon, because the villain in that should be the villain in American Ninja, the Black Star Ninja. So he's in the villain in both of those movies.
now the fuck. Did you on? I forgot what I was going to say.
I just read this comment real quick. I imagine a lot of young boys lost their innocence watching that V8 sex scene.
Man, she's a damn good looking woman in that time period. And holy shit. I was big into the breaking movies as well. Like, I don't know if you guys watched those, but that was another, especially the sequel. Like, I always preferred the sequel.
Yeah.
Same director.
Yeah.
Came out the same year too.
Right around the same time. Yeah.
But the first break has got Van Damme pop locked in one scene. Just for
Yeah.
some reason.
Just in one scene. He's basically doing the dance he does in Kickboxer, just a shortened version
Right.
of it. God, man, that's a blast from the past. I wish I still had a way to play that game.
Yeah. Those were difficult games too.
Yep.
But
So,
I know what I was going to
Oh,
think.
was it-
I was going to talk
Yeah, go
about the final scene with Kosugi versus the Ninja Master or whatever, right? Isn't like, and this is an editing thing, which I guess isn't a big deal with a movie like this, but like one shot, the Master Ninja clearly looks like a zombie almost, right? And then like a couple of shots later, he's just like a regular ninja. Did they just give up on the white makeup or what?
I would bet so.
Or am I imagining that? I don't know. It seems like there was a scene or two where he was like a zombie ninja or whatever.
There
and
was.
They just kind of forgot about
Yeah.
it.
But something tells me continuity is not these guys like strong suit.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
It was like, fuck this. This takes too long, boss.
So, I mean, how would you you put this at what? Like the second of the trilogy, I guess, like in terms of watchability. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
watchable movie, I think. Like, I mean, it's not awful. It just doesn't make any sense and doesn't really like it doesn't have the same um pacing like you were saying, like a Revenge of the Ninja at all. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't.
Yeah, there's some slow parts in Ninja 3, but I mean, overall, I still think it's pretty damn entertaining. Same director and everything. So
Mhm.
they quickly got this one out.
Yeah.
This was the very next year after Revenge of the Ninja.
Yeah. I would say the second's the best, but the third's the craziest. So it's a good double feature.
Yeah.
2 and 3.
So the last one really on here is one that I think is the one I remember the most, but like it's by far not the best of these movies. After rewatching it again, like it's definitely not the best of these movies, but it is by far the most popular version of a ninja movie for some reason, man. Because I remember this being all over the fucking place when we
What's
were
the
growing up.
most, the most successful, I think,
Yeah,
theatrically and all that. And
which
again, the
is,
same fucking director.
I mean, it's American Ninja with Michael Dudikoff, like, and this was kind of like
That's
the, I
good.
don't know, like the Rambo of ninja movies or something. Like that'd be the way I would describe it. Like it was just around that time period and it became
Well, I
like
think
oh, go ahead, man.
no, I say after the what Stum and Mark were saying, the audience didn't like that there was a female star, so they said we need a new action star. Sho Kosugi wanted to do other films, and he had a falling out with Cannon. That's why he did Pray for Death, Rage of Honor and stuff. So they wanted a new action star. Says Chuck Norris, who was going to star in American Ninja, but he's like, no, I'm not doing it because I'm not hiding my face. That's how he
Right.
put it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So they want a new star, and they got Michael
This space
Dudikoff
is
and
money, motherfuckers. Cover me.
the beard. Yeah, I showed the beard and the fist through it. He's
Yeah,
not
that,
doing push-ups. He's pushing the earth down.
So I just want to bring this up real quick before we start talking about this movie. Immediately when I started watching this movie, I was like, Michael Dudikoff looks exactly like Tom Matthews. That's the first thought that I had. It's like the
Dude.
same fucking guy.
for years and years and
Mhm.
years, I thought it was the same guy. I swear to God, when I was growing up and stuff, I was like, oh, that's that guy from Return of the Living Dead, boys.
It looks, I mean, I
'Cause
never
they-
noticed it. Never really
Their
put together.
voices are similar too. I mean, he's almost going, come on, ninja, you goddamn pussy, come on. No,
Yeah.
he's not that bad. But
It is kind of that bad though, really. Like, I
Man.
mean,
you
there,
beef.
No,
there's a
his is more
story.
like softer, like Clint Eastwood type of like whispery.
Isn't there a story, Matt? I think you were talking about this at one point where somebody told him they were going to make him an action star or something like that. Like there is a story behind Michael Dudikoff and like his where they were hyping him up like he was going to be.
Oh
and
yeah, they
promised him he would
promised
be
him,
like the
yeah,
next.
you don't be Spider-Man, you don't be Captain America, we don't be buying all these properties because that's what Canon did, which was their downfall because they got too big for their britches. So they did Superman 4 over the top, Masters Universe, and they didn't do well. If they stuck to these movies, they would have lasted longer, but they
Yeah.
spent all this money and they were all like these big flops. But yeah, Michael Dudikoff, they promised him the world. Just like, you don't do this. It's like what Vince McMahon would do without the shitting.
What's crazy is
just-
he didn't really do
yeah.
anything like he did the American Ninja movies.
He's
Mhm.
awful, man. Like that's the problem. I mean, he's got a great look, but like it's like, you know, and then the bell rang. Like he can't fucking act for anything. Like he can't do anything. He can barely talk.
Well, he's good
It
at
seems
playing
like.
that the mysterious guy that's quiet, right? That's him.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I thought he does a good job on that. I like him more than you. I like a Platoon Leader, Avenging Force. I like those movies as well. But
Mhm.
yeah, when Cannon went belly up, it's just I think because Cannon was looked at as such a loser company. I mean, that's just the thing. Like MGM, which I think that was the first big company that worked with him on Revenge of the Ninja. They would say they were embarrassed releasing these Cannon films, but they liked the money that was made. and they looked at it as jokes, so that people involved with it was hard for him to get work. And then after a couple other direct-to-video films, he went on like a 10, 12-year
Steve could be an action star.
retirement.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean,
shit.
I'll be honest with you. Like, these are the most memorable movies from my childhood. Like, a lot of these canon movies, like, are the ones that I remember the most. So I don't know what that says exactly, but like, I mean, people may not have liked to have made them or whatever, but they were definitely like the most memorable of the films that came out around that time.
They knew what they were. They weren't pretentious about it. And I think there's a lot of folks that could learn from that. And sometimes they make good stuff, but sometimes they think their craft smells like roses when they don't realize it. And they kind of look more foolish than these guys who are, they know what audience they made it for.
Yeah. I think the problem with Hollywood now, especially, is they've forgotten that movies are supposed to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that aspect is gone from a lot of these movies.
Yeah, they're simply made for profit, not entertainment.
But really, to me, though, about this movie, like, the best character in this movie is Jackson, like by a mile. Like, it's not even close.
Love Steve James. Yeah.
And so, okay, basic story of the movie. It's shot. Here's what I can gather anyway. Michael Dudikoff shows up on and he's in the military. I don't remember why or how. Must not have been paying that much attention.
Yeah, he joined the army.
He joined the army, and on one of the transports, they're taking like a bunch of the trucks through this town, and it gets hijacked by this group. They're not ninjas; they're just like henchmen or something like that.
Well, I thought there were some ninjas.
There were a couple
in the
ninjas
scene.
in there as
Yeah.
well.
They gotta be ninjas, man.
And so
gotta have ninjas.
up to that point, Michael Dudikoff's what's his character? Joe, I think is just his name.
Joe
Joe.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Joe
So
Armstrong.
he hasn't really said or done anything, but he just kicks everybody's ass. But what ends up happening is that he gets chased away and like they all get killed. So he pisses the entire like squad off and the army off and all this stuff. And from that point on, they're after him. A couple of corrupt like army officials are after him to try to get rid of him because they're also running this ring that's collecting all these stuff from these trucks. And that's the movie, really, like him trying to like bring down this ring and them trying to kill him.
And they
with
kidnap
ninjas.
Judy
Aronson.
her
From
Judy
Friday
Aronson.
4.
For Friday 13-4. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
try to kidnap her at the beginning, and they do kidnap her a little bit later on. And then there's like a love interest thing with her and Michael Dudikoff.
Which
Yeah.
is very odd, I thought. But she's not in the movie long enough to do anything except get kidnapped, really. Like she shows up for maybe
And
5
look
minutes.
hotter than
total.
hell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she's just like,
What in the hell's that girl doing, by the way? Have y'all seen her lately? She still looks pretty damn good, and she's got to be in her 60s at this point.
she's a possessed ninja.
She does look good. I will
She
admit
like-
that.
Yeah. For her age, man, holy shit. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I guess the main ninja in this is the Black Star Ninja who has like a little tattoo. That's how they distinguish who the baddest ninja of them all is
Mhm.
in this one. And then there's a backstory with Joe was trained by ninjas or something like that too, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
trained by some
Yeah, he
dude
was a-
like
And he
He
gets
shows up-
amnesia. He can't remember his past.
Yeah.
he's trained by a landscaper or something.
He's getting flashbacks.
You remember that? Like the dude's just fucking like the landscaper for like the head henchman
Bad
guy or
guys,
something. He's
yeah.
always like listening to their conversations. He's like, there's like a bunch of scenes of him just like arranging flowers and listening to like the bad guy's conversations.
But yeah, I mean, there's
I think that guy. Well, I think that guy is the guy we were talking about this movie before, and They Call Me Bruce. He's a guy that
Oh,
was
yeah.
trying to teach him where he does the thing, and then this glass explodes. Did you do that? No, that was Memorex.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing though, there's corruption in the army, and they're trying to prove it, and all this, and who's involved, who isn't. You know, they don't know who to trust.
Mhm.
They deal with stolen weapons.
Mr.
Stolen
Ocnomic
military weapons.
is in this one as well. So this one's a lot of fun too. I mean, it's right along the same lines of the other two movies that Furstenberg did. Although without Kosugi, you know,
Yeah.
he was definitely missed.
It looks different too, though. Like I don't know what it like. I don't know if it's a budget issue or something, but it doesn't look as exploitation-y as the rest of the ones in the trilogy. It looks more like a fucking First Blood movie or something. Like it just
It's more
comes
slick
across.
looking,
Yeah,
more Hollywood looking, maybe.
it comes across that way. And there's like other stuff in it, like he gets on a motorcycle and jumps over a like there's just weird 80s stuff in it that's not in any of these other ninja movies where you could tell they were trying to push him as like the action star or hero.
Try to be more mainstream. You see that this is a lot less gory compared to
I mean,
Revenge.
this was one too that you'd be way more likely to catch on TV, because I know for a fact they burnt this up on TBS back in the day. I think that's where I first saw this. And I remember the video covers and stuff too. Like this was a popular one in video stores as well.
But I mean, going back and watching it, like I guess I'd already watched Revenge of the Ninja, so I was kind of like expecting something like that. It's not that good.
No. Yeah, Sho Kosugi is definitely missing here. I guess that's why they kind of have Steve James for some legitimacy. I do enjoy all his sequences. Like anytime he shows up, anything that he does, he's always fun to watch.
He's the most likable person in the whole movie, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he returns in a couple of the sequels, you said, right? I know he's in the second one and the third one. Yeah, and I think that he had passed away at a pretty young age, too. I was looking information about him up that
cancer.
Yeah, he died at a fairly young age, unfortunately.
40 or 41.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of those guys that really could have starred as the lead in a movie similar movies like this, I think.
I think he did do a few, but not as many as he would have liked to do. And I did remember seeing something about him. He was going to be in the Mortal Kombat movie as the Jax character, but he passed away before he could audition for it. So that was unfortunate.
Am I crazy though, or was he not in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Yeah, he's Kung Fu Joe.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, because he keeps getting like shot and blown up and shit keeps coming back. Like, it's like that's a great character. But yeah, he's the best part of the movie for me. Like Michael Dudikoff's just standing there. He's like part of the furniture or something. Like I swear to God.
Now look, he wasn't that bad.
He was awful.
He was channeling some Tom Matthews boys.
Although, like Mark was saying earlier, like he didn't know shit about martial arts until he got on set, I don't think, and he seemed to like pull it off a lot better than Franco Nero or somebody like that. Like,
yeah, they trained him in pre-production, I think, and he got his black belt. I know there was some conflict between him and Steve James for a while because he was legit and Dudikoff wasn't, and it was more so Dudikoff. Like he was, I'll say, anxious about the whole thing. And there was a bit of conflict, but they ended up getting along. They settled their differences. I mean, they would go on to be in other movies together, so it all worked out.
Yeah, especially in part 2, you tell they're very good friends by that one. And yeah, because Revenge of Ninja I saw much later, other than hazy, I thought it was a nightmare memory of a kid getting killed with a ninja star.
They didn't care.
The American Ninja films are the ones I grew up with more. So the third one's not good, but it's fun to watch Steve James. He's the only good thing about it. But American Ninja 1 and 2, I like Dudikoff. I think he's going for like a bit more of a Clint Eastwood vibe. I didn't mind that. I thought the way Sam Furstenberg handled it, I liked some of the scenes, like the bit with the swords, and he throws them because I guess it's tied to his arms. And they fly like a mile to these guys. And then in the movie, they steal music from other movies. Like they steal music from Missing in Action, like during this.
Isn't there some music from Revenge of the Ninja in there?
Yeah, they steal that too.
I mean,
I don't know why,
they're
but
probably just borrowing it, right? Because it's the same studio and
they
everything. Like,
own it.
oh,
Canon.
Yeah.
who cares? Let's do it. Well,
It's all the same
yeah.
company.
But yeah, all these movies, Golden Globus Productions, Cannon Films, all of them. And they were all made over the span of what, 4 years? So that's kind of crazy to think. And ninja movies throughout what? I mean, the peak of the ninja movies are probably for the early to mid 80s. And then they kind of died down in popularity quite a bit. What can you guys think of any like great ninja movies aside from Beverly Hills Ninja in the 90s?
Well, I think what happened was when we got to the 90s, they would label more for kids because of, funny enough that I'm here, the success of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that was such a massive cartoon. And then the first couple movies made, $100 million. And then you had Three Ninjas, Surf Ninjas,
Right.
Three Ninjas,
Oh, yeah.
High Noon and Mega Man with Hulk Hogan. So now they were kind of
Classic.
looked at as, oh, it's just a kids thing.
Yeah, like G-rated ninja movies.
Yeah,
Pocket Ninjas.
that's probably what killed it, though. I mean, the success of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right at 1990, that first year of the 90s, you get to about maybe 95, 96. It was so many. I think the oversaturation just killed it for the audience. They were just done with ninja stuff.
Yeah, but see, like
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say my memories of ninja movies where I grew up in the '80s were of those type of ninja movies where it was like hyper gory, action kind of stuff. But I'd say like if you grew up in the '90s, that like your whole perception of ninjas would be completely different just because of all that shit. Like it would seem kind of crazy to think that there was once like movies that were as gory as some horror films that were ninja movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were really
Go
onto something, though. Unfortunately, and it really, I mean, I guess it kind of that style of ninja movie kind of died off in the mid '80s. Really, Sam Furstenberg, man, say what you want to, but that fucking guy knew how to make an entertaining damn movie.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I mean, he made those 3 movies, right? Like the only one he didn't make was Enter the Ninja, which is probably the worst one of the bunch. So,
right.
I mean, he made the most entertaining of all these movies. I gotta give him
and
credit for
Breaking
that.
2 Electric Boogaloo, man.
I mean,
I still believe in the beat.
Yep, you got to.
And then he also did one called Avenging Force, which is another Dudikoff Steve James joint.
I'm hoping Kino will release that. I'd like to see that one again.
I don't remember Steve James in Weird Science, but I haven't seen.
He's
Weird
at the
Science
table.
forever.
Him and Judy are both in that. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You could
With the old guys like in the family, Jules.
Yeah, you could play Degrees of
that's it.
Separation with these movies and Steve James and all this stuff.
Hero in the Chair.
Chuck Norris. He was also in Delta Force with Chuck Norris.
Yes. Did something get his copy of Infernal Rapist? I'm sure he's got 2 or 3 copies of that.
He asks me that like every stream.
He's got the big German bust of the Infernal Rapist.
Yeah. Jackie Chan era was the 90s too. That's true. That's when he really became like known in the US.
Yeah, the police
at the
story
end of the
movies
90s.
and stuff like that
Yeah.
got his name out there.
Cool.
That shit is fucking nuts. I'm not a big, I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about the Jackie Chan stuff, but I was watching some of those stunts in I think it's called Police Story, the Police Story movies from Hong Kong. That shit looked dangerous as fuck, man. I'm like, holy shit. You know,
I want to get that. Isn't there like, they just put out some of like the first 3 of those movies, like a company just released that.
Yeah, Eureka, I think, put out.
I want to get that. Yeah. Because I need to see those movies. This is a good point. Deadpool films are basically modern ninja films. I mean, he is like a ninja in a way. I don't think those movies are like ninja films per se.
I would.
His character.
One modern one I would recommend is Scott Adkins did one called Ninja Shadow of a Tear, which actually has King Kosugi, Sho Kosugi's son, as the villain. Funny enough, so that one, like, he did one before just called Ninja. I actually thought the sequel was better, Ninja Shadow of a Tear. But both, I mean, are still worth a watch with Scott Adkins. I would say those are probably the closest They're not as good as Revenge of the Ninja, but they're the closest to that canon ninja feel for modern, for that I've seen so far.
So if we were to
And
take
the
a
Ninja
poll,
Assassin.
I think that we all agree that Revenge of the Ninja was the best of these movies.
No doubt. Yeah.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
a kind of a given. Now we could throw other stuff in there, like you were saying, like New York Ninja and Miami Connection, and even the American Ninja sequels, which I haven't seen those in years. I'd like to see them again, and some of those might pan out, but I don't know if they're gonna. I think Revenge of the Ninja might be the apex of ninja movies. Really,
the pinnacle of that
Yeah.
style. Yeah,
I think it is.
yeah. I mean, I think that you know, that one and Ninja 3 are pretty close, but yeah, Revenge of the Ninja, it's just like a perfect example of those early 80s just over the top ninja movies, I think. And I'm surprised that more people don't really reference those movies. Like, it seems like more people talk about Ninja 3 more
Mhm.
than
Mm.
Revenge of the Ninja for some reason.
That's true. Like you don't ever really hear about Revenge of the Ninja, like to be honest. But it's just a movie maybe
Well, I
it's
think
lost in time.
I think the thing just Ninja 3 is just so ridiculous that when you just see one scene, it just creates a lot more of that samurai cop, like those type of buzz
Mhm.
of so the so bad is good. People think of it that way or something. So a lot of people, especially on the internet today, they look at that for more conversation than like Revenge of the Ninja. I think is a better made film.
Yeah.
So that won't be talked about as much as the more crazy as hell movie.
Well, since we still got a shit ton of people on here, what do we got coming up? Because I got no idea.
Well, I mean, we've got some shows coming up. It's a requested show from Card Intervention. Wanted us to do Kevin Smith's filmography, but wanted to ask and see if Rambo could join us since he's such a Kevin Smith fan. So
Yeah,
we're going to try to get that in by the end of the month. Like, it is going to involve me, unfortunately, having to watch some of his more recent movies, which I'm not looking forward to. Fucking Yoga Hosers and Clerks 3.
Those films will help you appreciate Dogma a lot more. I remember you saying you're not a big fan of Dogma, but wait till you see his later stuff.
When it comes to like most of his stuff up to a point, like I really liked all of it. So, but he's one of those guys that I just don't give a fuck about anymore at all. Like, I don't care what he's got coming out. It's just he's had a good run of bad films in the last 10 years or so.
Right, like a George Strait song. Good
Yeah.
run of bad film. Yeah. No, seriously, I kind of agree with it. Like,
I'm sorry. Real Fright, it is that bad. I'm sorry. Clerks 3.
Let me put this up for context. Go ahead.
It is that bad. You can't tell me you got any enjoyment out of that film. There's no way.
I would say Red State may be the last one that I thought had some good shit in it.
Yeah. I like Red State.
Now, what did he do anything like halfway decent after that? I don't know.
No.
Tusk?
no,
Tusk. Yeah.
Holy shit. No.
no.
I did try to watch Tusk, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here, boys? What?
It started off as an idea from a pot-induced podcast episode, and it shows.
Yeah. It was a joke that he made. And that's how the movie came to be.
And the joke only he laughed at.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Bill, you like Tusk, don't you?
Yeah, I actually don't mind Tusk. I know that's like.
Let me tell you
sacrilege.
something, baby.
It's
Tusk
like-
ain't worth a fuck.
Buddy, wait till you see Yoga Hosers. You think Tusk
yeah.
is bad. God damn. Wait till you see Jay and Silent Bob reboot for that matter.
I don't want to watch it.
Man.
Maybe I should just watch the trailer.
Oh yeah, I see Chris Jericho and Jan Samba reboot.
Oh God.
See who he
I
plays.
forgot about that.
Look here, boy. Super Batman Nerd said he did got enjoyment out of Clerks, and he did cry at the end.
I cried
There
too
you
for
go.
different reasons. But
Yeah.
God damn.
It's a movie that'll make you cry out your asshole, boys.
So I'm really looking forward to that show, though. I'll just say that.
I'm dying to hear your thoughts of Yoda hosers.
Oh God.
The little sausage guys running around.
That's a lot of movies to prepare for,
Oh,
though, really,
man.
because most of those I haven't seen in a long, long time.
I, honest to God, always forget this movie exists, but Jersey Girl. Like, I just forget
Oh,
that
yeah.
that's even like,
I'll take
he
that.
even did that.
I'm fine with Jersey Girl. But Reboot and the others, I can't.
I don't mind Jersey Girl. I don't mind Zach and Miri made a
Yeah.
porno. That was his,
I like
too.
Zach and Miri. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that one either. Like, I thought that was really good considering, some of the other shit he made.
But Jersey Girl was supposed to be like his big, like mainstream
Yeah,
like
it's
drama
so
type thing, and it did shit to bed. Like it wasn't a success.
And yes, Max Thunderdome, he was behind like that awful woke He-Man cartoon that pissed everybody off and didn't even have He-Man in it.
That'd be a
I think he
killer,
was in
like
it for like,
woke He-Man figure.
yeah.
It'd be awesome.
He was making a movie about a killer moose at one time, wasn't he? I forget the name
Yeah.
of it.
Moose Jaws.
I remember that. Yeah. Some craziness like
That's
that.
what it was called.
We've got other stuff coming up though. Eyes Without a Face is a review that somebody requested. We're going to try to do that this week. Hopefully, it's another French. I don't know what people love our reviews on French movies where you have to fucking read them. So I'm not a fan of that, but it is what it is. And Wolf Cop, the commentary. We got a commentary on Wolf Cop as well.
That'll be
And
fun.
what else do we have coming up?
I have no idea. I don't know. I always just look to you for these kind of answers. So
I forgot about Cop Out. Somebody brought
me
that
too,
up.
man. Like some of these
Damn.
movies I completely forget exist. He did Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan.
Real quick though, like, do you guys have a specific favorite Kevin Smith movie?
That's a good question.
The first Clerks.
Yeah, I'd probably say either that or I actually really like Dogma a lot. That was
I
such
did
a
too
bold
when it came out.
move to make something like that. I know they got a lot of protesters and a lot of people pissed off at them. So yeah, probably that.
Except for Mallrats, which I never liked. I mean, some people like it or whatever. I never did understand the thing behind Mallrats. I liked all of the first couple movies that he did.
Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy.
I think Chasing Amy may be
Dogma.
my favorite.
Yeah.
That's the one I always go back to where I was like, damn, that's actually a pretty solid movie.
Yeah, it's amazing he could make a film at one time. Now he's making this shit. Like,
I always liked Joey Lauren Adams, I think was her name.
Yeah.
That was in that. Like I always felt that she should have been like a bigger name. Like she did a really good job in that movie.
Yeah, Clerks 2 wasn't that bad. I could watch that one. That one was good.
I always really liked Clerks too. Like
somebody
I
was
thought it
saying
was
though, there was
great.
a point in time where Kevin Smith became a total pothead, and then after that, like he couldn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, that's the common.
Yeah,
Zach and Mary.
perception.
it bombed at
He
the
was
box
making that
office.
movie. He was making that movie, and Seth Rogen introduced him to the wake and bake method, and he adapted it real quick.
Well, the story of it was. Oh, sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
No, I was saying because I would listen to his podcast. Yeah, with Scott Boyer. That's how much of a fan I was of him. Yeah, it's called Smodcast, and like he did a podcast where he like built up for like an hour of these people told me Zach and Mary would be a hit, and they said all this stuff would happen, and the opening weekend didn't work well, and next time we'll explain how it all happened. Then the next podcast, never mind.
Who
Don't fill it
cares?
for nothing.
Sounds
Yeah.
right.
It
That's his
bombed,
career now.
and I think he
And
said
he
so.
bombed.
Right,
And
his
he took a
wife.
bomb.
His wife came in the next day after Zach and Miria came out. She was telling him the numbers. And as soon as he heard the numbers, he said he went to his office and he started smoking. And after that, he became a wake and bake stoner. Like it was all day, every day. And I
Brother.
mean, he
Well,
just
it's-
kind of gave up.
it almost seemed like there for a while, like his movies, it was like a big deal if he was working on a movie or something, right? It would be hot for a good year or two at least. And now it's like he's just fucking throwing movie out after movie out. And you're like,
It's weird to think that at one time or another he was probably on par with like Tarantino. Like that's how people looked at him in terms
Yeah,
of
his
like,
dialogue. Yeah, he was
as a filmmaker. Yeah. I mean, maybe not as a filmmaker, but as per
The
se, like a
writing.
cinematographer, but the writing for sure. Yeah.
mhm.
And now it's like those guys couldn't be any farther apart. Like it's just crazy how far fucking downhill he went.
And like someone mentioned, he did a horror film anthology that he released only as an NFT, so no one can watch it. It's like a horror film anthology about. I'm like, that's a smart idea.
This was another thing too, though, man. Like, his Q&As, like all of his evenings with,
Mhm.
those are amazing. Like,
Yeah.
those are sometimes better than his fucking movies. Like to me, like
Yeah.
I watched
the-
all those up to a point, and they were super entertaining.
But yeah, his stories on Superman, writing that strip, on
Yeah,
dealing with Prince and the concert film he made
Yep.
that
Yeah, the whole
never
Prince
saw
thing
the
was
light of
Bruce
day.
Willis, all the stuff with Bruce Willis and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, which in hindsight, probably there was a lot more to that than anybody knew, but still,
Mhm.
he should work with RVD on a movie. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, he's clean now. Apparently, he's given up the weed.
Oh, did RVD give up the weed, or did Kevin Smith? Give up the
Kevin
weed?
Smith.
RVD.
I was gonna say, I don't.
RVD's not giving.
No, that's never
Big
gonna happen.
killer. RVD goes stone sober.
I'll tell you another great guy though, Brian O'Halloran from the Clerks movies and everything. Like that dude is probably the most. I mean, he's not a big movie star or anything, but he's been in these big movies. Really, really down to earth guy that wishes me happy birthday and shit on Facebook and stuff. He's one of those guys. So
Oh, that's nice.
it's cool that that not everybody's just a stuck up asshole that's been in movies. A lot are, but
Yeah, a lot of them are.
That's the way they killed him off. He was too nice in this last one.
Oh, he
He
died?
got died.
Oh shit.
Spoiler.
I didn't see it. Spoiled the whole movie
Oh.
for me, man. I probably won't watch it anyway though.
You probably shouldn't, honestly. So
Wait,
I'm
Uncle Bill, did you see Clerks 3?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not been that long ago that I saw it.
I've never heard anybody say that you should see it, so that's why I never did watch it. Same
It's,
thing for the Last Jay and Silent Bob movie too. Like nobody gave that a good review.
I think that was actually worse to me than Clerks 3, honestly. Like that movie looked like it was put together in like a weekend, and it just looks like shit. The way it's filmed and everything's awful. And Jason Mewes is like, he's just I don't know how to explain it.
His voice is screwed up because of
His
the damage he
teeth, his
did.
face,
Mhm.
like everything is just it's just all wrong.
Chain
Just
smoking
it's
those
more
cigarettes.
sad.
It's like when
Yeah.
he's talking, you're kind of watching his teeth move in another direction, his dentures or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, I have no idea what next week's show is going to be about. I can tell you what it's not going to be about, though. CK, you some bitch, it's not going to be black exploitation.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's
No,
racist, buddy. if you're
I'm not
gonna do
doing
that.
it. I don't give a fuck. You get on here and do it. I'll figure
Well,
out
this is your
something else.
show.
That's true. I ain't gonna be one to do it.
Look, man, if they've got the trailers for these movies on YouTube, it's perfectly fine to talk about these movies. What are you afraid of?
Yeah, Uncle Bill, it'll be progressive. You should.
It will it. Yeah. If there's one thing I want
Well, I
to
mean,
be,
there's-
it's progressive.
There's always the exploitation. Mention you
I
have.
feel like that would probably go
Oh
over
yeah,
better.
I mentioned this to Uncle Bill to US. If you want to see some of the most redneck people ever, sees this film called Snake Eater. The villain is one of the most redneck villains you would ever see in a movie.
Lorenzo Lamas Snake Eater?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first does a villain. I mean, it's like if you think Deliverance was redneck, these films are like so over the top.
You know, I think it's Snake Eater 2 that Bam Bam Bigelow is like the big heel in it, the
shit.
bag.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
I heard about that 2 or
Yeah.
3. Yeah,
I think it was the second one, but it may be the third one. I'm not sure.
But I mean, does anybody have ideas other than that for like what the next series of shows should be?
Well, you suggested splatter movies at one point.
Yeah, I did, and along those lines, I was thinking like, you know, the Herschel Gordon Lewis stuff.
Mhm.
The
You could
beginning
almost-
of that
nunsploitation.
You could do like
Nunsploitation. Yeah, I've got a whole box sets on that shit that I haven't watched yet.
kind of like the Godfathers of exploitation movies. Like you could do some of the early ones, like Freaks is probably one of the big
That's
early
true.
ones.
Sean C. Phillips
the
career
30s?
retrospective. So much shit that they had. That'd be the
Gator
worst
bait,
shit
boss.
ever. Jallo.
Seansploitation. There you go.
I don't think I'd get away with Nazi exploitation either. I don't feel like that's going to fly nowadays.
Well, I think that we're at least going to do the Ilsa movies at some point, though, right?
We got to
That'll
call it
have
something else, so I don't know what we're going to call it. German exploitation, something.
women in prison movies. Didn't somebody mention that?
Women in Prison is another good, yeah, like Chained Heat and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Caged Heat, Chained Heat. There's all kinds of movies like
Dude, at some point in time, though, black exploitation like that is just you have to do it. I mean,
I fucking don't encourage him.
why? Why not?
No, I don't have to do that. But
Don't be a pussy, man.
I need to put up a black Nazi exploitation. Yeah. I need to put up a poll somehow. Like, is there a way to do that?
Community
Well,
poll.
You can't.
There's no way to do it on Discord. I know that.
I can do it on YouTube, like the community post or whatever, and we can
Mhm.
post it on there and let people vote.
Yeah, take
for the
like 3 or
next
4
couple of
different
weeks.
like ideas and just put it up there and see.
Can I put black exploitation up there?
No, because it'll fucking win because they know I don't want to do it. That's how this shit works.
I don't.
Then
I
you'll
don't
have to
get
do
it.
it.
You would have done it 15 years ago, Uncle Bill. Don't be a pussy.
The world was a different place 15 years ago, though.
You guys still doing most disturbing horror films? I think that was a topic a while ago. I don't know if you guys are doing that still.
But I don't know. We need to bring back spin the wheel, make the deal. We need to do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Sure,
I forgot about that.
for fucking 2 years and you won't ever do it.
No, it's been less than a year. Less than a year.
Well, a year then.
Well, what do you guys got coming up, Matt and Mark?
Go
You
ahead, Mark.
Matt. Oh, more collection videos. Me and Matt will probably be doing a stream next week sometime. Probably be like an AMA, right, Matt? Something
Yeah,
like
sure.
that?
Yeah. Any videos you have come up of your collection? I know you on Instagram you showed the Shocker set you had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing specific, but stay tuned. I'll have something up this week though, for sure.
So
For
I
me,
guess
just
that's what-
typical stuff.
Oh,
Just
go ahead.
typical stuff. No, just typical stuff. Just more requests and stuff to be uploaded. A lot of random weird flicks to be reviewed, like Ape from 1976. If you want to see a ripoff of King Kong where he hits a helicopter and when it smashes, he does this. Not kidding. He
That's
did
what
an
I
Ape
wanna see.
series, King Kong. And there's a scene where there's a hang glider and it lands on his hand. It's a toy. And he's like, oh. So it's silently had an orgasm. And it's just a hang glider in his hand. Really, really like funny but bad movie.
So you do a lot of requests though, Matt, like commentaries and stuff like that. Just out of curiosity, what was like the most painful commentary that you had to sit through? Like, God damn, why in the fuck?
Skin
Yeah.
and Marink.
What,
I don't know.
That was painful for everybody.
yeah.
It's hard for. I don't know about commentary, but I would say one of the movies that was the worst was it was called The Wet Ones, and it's not how well you think it.
It's not
Because
about wet movie, is it?
no, I wish it was. Some guy made it. It's 2.5 hours long, and the entire movie is like, imagine a whole movie, but he'll put like a doll like here, and he'll have like voices outside, and then he'll move a doll, go away, as like their voices. This is like for 2.5 hours.
Oh my
And
god.
I guess he
That
bought
sounds killer.
cameos.
Let's do it.
I guess he bought cameos from Andy Dick and Lisa Wilcox because they randomly show up as just kind of here, just talking to the camera. Like,
So this is like an old Curly
It's
Jaws
on
production
Tubi.
or something.
yeah, it's on Tubi for some reason. 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
I dare anyone to watch it. Good. You
Yeah,
won't
hopefully we
survive.
never get requested that one. That damn
Well, now you.
Hands on a Hard Body one was probably one of the worst ones. Like the movie itself's probably not too bad, but to commentate over a movie where these people just fucking have their hands on
Yeah.
a damn car
I
for an
don't
hour
think
and a half.
I don't think the movie was that bad. I just think that's like the worst movie you could do a commentary over because just
Not much
nothing
visual to talk
happens.
about.
Yeah, like for like 20 minutes at a time. So
Like they're still touching. They're still holding on.
Yeah, that's
Shaft is a
true.
classy movie.
That's true. Otherwise, Criterion wouldn't put it out. So I guess that's what we'll do, though. We'll throw some ideas up for the next show. Look at this shit. This is gonna happen too.
It's a shame. Boss. It's a shame. He's gonna get us. He's gonna get us deleted.
We'll put ideas up for the next show and have a poll and see what we'll see what happens.
You know, now everybody's
No.
going to vote for blaxploitation.
What if
It's
you
not
call
gonna be an
like,
option, Mark. It's not gonna be a fucking option.
No, what if you call it like Pamsploitation? It's just like the Pam Grier ones, like Coffee.
Mm.
What was the other film? Foxy Brown.
Shit,
And I think she did another one. Like
something
Pamsploitation.
Cleopatra.
Call it
Did
that.
she do like one Cleopatra or something? Cleopatra. There
I know
was
some of them was just Sid Haig.
Some of them
Coffee,
fucking some of
Foxy
them
Brown.
Fred Williamson movies though. They never brought those out on anything, right? Just because of the name. Is that correct, or did they re-release them?
All the Boss something. What I'm not going to say. Boss either. Yeah.
Listen, I ain't doing that shit.
God damn
I
it,
don't
Uncle
give
Bill.
a fuck.
The
Ugh.
Pam Grier stuff's playing it too safe. You got to go all in.
Yes.
No, I'm not. If they, no,
Uncle Bill's being a damn pussy boy. That's a shame.
So-
That's a shame.
now he's trying to guilt me into. This is the next phase of.
So
But
what would
anyway.
you say would be what was the weirdest, like you found out this is a exploitation thing, but what was like the weirdest subgenre you found? Like there's a group of films like this.
There's like
Oh,
20 if-
Bruceploitation. That's another one you could do.
that Ausploitation, which is like Aussie stuff, is on there. There's like 20 different subgenres that I found on Wikipedia of just like, that would be considered exploitation films.
You need to do Bruceploitation because you need to see The Dragon Lives Again. Bruce Lee joins with Popeye to fight Dracula.
I would love to see
What about
Bruce Lee.
is puke exploitation a thing? The Lucifer Valentine movies.
God, it probably fucking is.
Got to get Garrett on those shows.
Dude, that shit's too much for me, man. Like I started watching some of that shit because we were thinking of doing like a Tragedies in Tinseltown Lucifer Valentine show or something like that. And I was like, man, I just fucking I don't want to watch any more of this.
Which one did you watch?
The God.
Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. Wasn't that
Yeah,
the one you
I think
watched?
that
Yeah.
was it. Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. There's a scene in it where
Fuck you, Mark. I swear to God. encourage people this shit.
Where like that when they pump your stomach with the charcoal and shit like that, and yeah, there's a scene where this girl gets her stomach stumped, her stomach
Our
pumped.
pumic stump, baby.
That pumic got stumped.
Get that pumic.
And there was like this black shit, like she was puking up this coal and everything else. Nasty shit, man. They get peed on and everything. I can't deal with that.
What about the guy pissing blood in that one scene?
I don't know if I got to that far.
Why was it? How was he pissing? I don't even want to know.
I won't tell you what the woman was doing to him down there while he was peeing blood.
Thank you.
Just let you
We
figure that
appreciate
out.
that. BC exploitation with Steve.
Shit exploitation.
I don't know what the hell those movies are made for. I don't know who watches them and why.
It's a new subgenre of horror, man. Vomit gore.
Sure. Cool story.
There's people that are into everything though.
But anyway, on that note, when we talk about common blood, that's as good as time as any to end this show. That Cannibal Corpse song can start.
Got to do a Faces of Death show.
That's a good idea.
That would be a good show.
The mockumentaries or whatever the hell those are called, shockumentaries, like that.
And they call those Mondo or something like that.
Mondo Cane.
I actually went back and watched like the first couple of Traces of Death videos because I'm insane.
Traces of Death?
Yeah, Traces of Death.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was just like, I haven't seen these since I was 16 years old, and I need to, for some reason, go back and watch this shit. And yeah, I regret that decision.
Yeah, Traces of Death takes
immediately
it up a notch.
regretted it.
Yeah, the Bud Dwyer thing where he fucking and it's like a faucet of blood coming out of his nose or whatever.
Was there a movie you guys reviewed that was similar to that called Killing of America? Was that what it was called?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Severin put that out.
It was real life, like mostly police footage and things like that. But like it wasn't like the thing about Traces of Death that makes it so fucking messed up is there's that guy on there. It's like, look into the eyes of the dead, and then they got that fucking like death metal music playing. And this, that movie was more like trying to make a statement about how violent America was and guns and things like that. Meanwhile, the guy in Traces of Death is like, this poor child's head got torn off by a motorcycle, and it's like showing you pictures of that shit. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. I think the Killing of America, though, like that didn't ever get an official release or anything until Severin brought it out. Like for some reason, that one never saw the light of day back in the day. But I think the Traces of Death movies are way more graphic than that one.
Yeah, I can actually sit through the Faces of Death ones. They're, I would say the sequels are a little bit better. Like the original is really boring, but the sequels are not that bad. You kind of get the idea of what they're trying to do with it.
I'm too much of a wimp. I can't handle any of that stuff. I'm too much of a wimp.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Like I don't know what the hell I was doing, but
yeah, those were like Dare tapes back in the day, like Halloween or whatever. Oh, let's get a Faces of Death tape. And there was a buddy of mine that would always fucking like whenever any of this stuff was on, he would like run in the bathroom and vomit. It'd make him sick.
But anyway, just let people decide what we do next.
Yes.
Put up a poll, see what happens.
And also, we've got some good technology. Look at this. You see this shit? High-tech redneck Mayberry meets Star Trek. So if you guys are watching on your phone or on your computer or TV or whatever, you can scan that fucking thing and you can automatically subscribe to our channel.
Look at that shit.
Yeah. It's some high-tech wizardry and gadgetry and all that good shit.
Logan
Isn't it easier to
mentioned
just push the button?
Yeah, if you open your camera app, just when it scans it, just push the button and boom, shakalaka,
Okay.
bulls.
It actually just takes you to a Skinamarink. It takes you to like a fucking link to that.
Logan in the
Uh,
chat mentioned Serbian film, but I want to say like a few months ago, I saw a movie that was way worse than Serbian film. Have you guys ever seen the Chilean horror film Trauma from 2017?
Nope.
No.
I I couldn't believe some of the
Rated
stuff that was in the movie. For anybody that hasn't seen it, if you want to see something way worse than Serbian film, watch that one. Trauma
Yeah,
from
that's true.
2017.
I'm gonna pass.
I did get a
Right now.
package though, boy. Since we've got a couple of minutes, you'll see what's in the
Oh,
package.
I'm
Sure.
afraid.
Yeah.
It could be a
Whenever
sex
that's the
toy.
front end, maybe.
That's probably what it is.
Yep. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Uh,
this is the
Crom.
Conan
Ooh.
Chronicles.
Nice.
And it comes with a big thick book and 2 4Ks.
was
been a
that
lot-
Amazon or somewhere else that you
Amazon.
purchased?
Yeah, it's 40. What is it, Uncle Bill? $42 or $44,
Yeah.
something like that.
It was
So,
super
yeah.
cheap for like a brief period of time until they realized they screwed up. That's the thing I hate about Amazon though, man. They'll throw anything like that in just a fucking bubble wrap. Just send
I
it,
know. I'm shocked it's not. It doesn't seem
throw it
like
on your
it's.
door.
Yeah. The cool
Mm.
thing is, though, is like most of their shipping facilities and stuff from Amazon is in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. So we get shit almost the next day. Like I've got Amazon Prime. So most of the time, man, I'll get stuff the very next day if I order it. So I get it pretty quick usually.
Mine should be in then the next couple of days.
Unless it gets stolen again.
Well, no, they deliver those up at the actual house, not in the mailbox.
Good.
Assholes. That makes me sick. Now I've got to go to the post office every single time, like because that's where I had them like never put anything on the mailbox, so I have to drive, which is like a 10-15 minute drive to the.
I was thinking about this though. Like speaking of Conan, like with some of the sword and sorcery
Somebody
movies,
mentioned that in here earlier, but I thought that was a good idea too.
Oh,
would that be kind of a form of exploitation movies?
Yeah, because we got to do the one with the Barbarian Brothers in it, and we could do
God.
the one with the one that Fulci did, Conquest.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of possibilities for that.
I'm a big mark for Red Sonja. I always have been. That's another one that they burn up on TBS back in the day. I understand it's not good. It really isn't. But there's aspects to that movie that I've always loved. Like
You
Paul
like the
Smith.
big bone in it.
Paul Smith with his big fucking bone. He's going to do some damage. I've got there's a 4K of Red Sonja as well that I have over there. I think Studio Canal or one of those labels did it.
Hmm.
So I've got all them damn movies in 4K now, boys.
Oh Lord, people are buying fucking German media books at Trick or Treat because they're tired of waiting on sleep. Well,
It seems like it's going to be a while. I mean,
I feel bad for him right now. He's just really getting shit on all over the place.
oh well.
But okay. Oh well. All right. Anyway, there'll be shows coming up, polls coming up, all kinds of stuff coming up. Thank you to Mark and Rambo for being on here. Appreciate it as usual. I ain't thanking you because you're always fucking on here. There ain't no
You
sense
better
in
thank
it.
me.
No, ain't no sense in it.
Also, we are getting our itinerary together, Uncle Bill. We should talk about this. Horror Hound Weekend coming up at the end of March, where we're going to come face to face with fucking Eli Roth.
We hope, yeah, unless he cancels.
Unless he cancels, and then we'll cancel too. So that'll be interesting. And I think Slippy may be up there.
He'll be there, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
what would be the maybe you'll save this as a surprise. So if so, that's fine. But if not, what would be the one question if you don't ask one question to Eli? What would it be?
What would the question be? I need to start thinking of that.
I think I know. I'd ask him, how did you end up finally making a good film?
What were the circumstances behind this? Because we were
Yeah, how
shocked.
did that come together?
There's finally one movie that we like of yours. Now, to be honest, I think he gradually got a little bit better each time. Like, what was the Keanu Reeves movie that we watched with?
Oh,
Knock,
knock,
knock.
knock, some bitch.
I didn't hate that movie either. Like, it's fucking stupid and ridiculous and everything, but it was kind of entertaining, right? And those girls in it were hotter than hell.
I think, but then he made like the fucking Green Inferno. I mean, so it's like, which to me is like the worst
Yeah,
film
the
that
Green
he ever made.
Inferno. That was awful.
So I'm not sure if he steadily got better. He just kind of went like,
Buddy,
down,
here it is.
up a little bit.
Buddy, who
down
really
again.
directed Thanksgiving? I know it wasn't you.
Big killer question. We know you can't make nothing worth the fuck. Who was that?
I just love to see him on the show. That's the
Well,
the
he's
winning
doing
ticket right there.
interviews right now with a bunch of dick asses. So I mean, I don't know like why he wouldn't do our show unless he just remembers all that stuff, which is fine too.
Yeah.
I'd love to get him on there and just ask him about what the hell was going on in his mind when he made some of this shit. He probably wouldn't appreciate that.
Maybe he started smoking weed and that's when he got better as a filmmaker. You did the opposite effect for him.
I actually did hear him say that he did smoke weed with Tarantino a couple times, so maybe you're right. Who knows?
Guess you just asked him, why do women ruin sex lives, or wherever that show is. What was the show?
Oh, well, Ghost fuck
Ghost-
my sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ghost butt fuck my sister.
There's a series show he did called A Ghost Ruined My Life. That's the one I was talking about. But
Okay.
The ghost shit on my chest.
ghost shitters. That's about ghost and shit on your chest.
Dude, the Green Inferno was not Eli remaking fucking Cannibal. Have you ever fucking seen Cannibal Holocaust? God damn. I don't know what the Green Inferno was, but it was not a remake of Cannibal Holocaust at all.
No, it wasn't.
no.
It was like a cannibal movie with more douchebags. More
Like-
douchier than the cannibals.
I don't remember any of the females violently shitting themselves and like you hear that?
It was like a dark comedy, I think, is what he was trying to make. Honestly,
I don't know.
Why would you do that though? Like,
he's an idiot. He's never made anything worth fuck up until like this past year. I didn't know.
When we did that Eli Roth Tears for Fear show, that was the very first time that I watched Green Inferno. Like I never, because nobody ever said it was good. Like there was no reason for me to really ever watch it. And then I finally watched it and I was like, God damn, this is worse than I even thought it could ever be.
It may be his worst film, honestly. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
he worked on Haunt. That was good.
He was a producer or something on it though, right?
He did that, and then he did a script polish for those two guys that directed it. So that's another good one.
I will admit I did like Death Wish. Guilty as charged.
I don't mind it. I mean,
I don't think it's a bad movie. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I think gradually he just improved a little bit each time or whatever. But he still like enjoys the smell of his own farts. That's obvious. Like, Lord have mercy, this fucking guy.
Oh yeah, I think that making all them A Ghost Fucked Up My Life series really helped him like along the way become better.
I just thought of something. Have you guys ever been to a show where Adam Green was there?
He's going to be at that Whorehound show.
You got to go up to his table.
Hey, Adam Green, what you doing, pal?
That's one guy. I wouldn't even have anything to say to him at all. Really,
Talk about a contrast between careers, because I mean they kind of, I guess, blew up around the same time, and they were going to be like the future horror guys. And Green's career up until this point, man.
What happened to him
Sad.
anyway? That
I
maybe
don't-
that's a big question I'll ask him.
Yeah.
What happened to you, buddy? Like, I mean, seriously, after a while, he just didn't. He doesn't make anything anymore, does he? He hasn't made a movie
Hatchet
since.
movies.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, the Hatchet movies.
He just
That's
does a
it.
podcast with Joe Lynch.
Oh yeah, his buddy Joe Lynch. Yeah.
They do a podcast together and they interview. I think mainly them doing that.
Lord
I think.
God, I can't think of anything I'd less like to listen to. Really,
Yeah. Joe Lynch and fucking Adam Green, bulls.
That's a tad team. You two versus Adam Green, Joe Lynch. Or bring back Uwe Ball. He's retired.
They're doing special
Bring him
editions
back.
of his movies now in 4K. Postal in 4K.
Yeah,
Lord.
someone told me Blood Ring's getting a 4K. I thought they were
yeah.
lying. And they're not.
that movie doesn't even deserve like a 1K or whatever the
No.
lowest thing you can
No.
K something in.
The main thing I always remember
That's
about Blood
just-
Rain is Uwe Boll just doing such a horrible, horrible job. And I always say he's the only guy who can make a lesbian sex scene boring. It's that movie.
Best talent.
Yep, right. There you go.
We should see if we can get a picture with Adam Green and Eli Roth together.
There you go. You
That'd be
gotta do it.
legendary. Ugh.
Well, the funny thing is nobody's going to give a single fuck about Adam Green at that show. So I'm sure you'll be able to easily walk right up to him. Like, who cares?
I don't want to walk up to him.
I really don't. Like, I'm going for just Eli Roth. Like, that's the only reason I'm going.
Mhm.
I just think that it's an opportunity that we can't pass. That to get a photo with him, to say hey to him or whatever else, and try to secure an interview maybe down the line.
Yeah.
Like I think that it would be worth it for that.
Hey,
I'll be
it's
honest
funny
with you.
though that as much as you guys hate his movies, understandably so, now you're going up to pay him. to be-
The thing about him is though that he's like our muse, at least in the original like incarnation
true.
of Dead Pit. Like he's as much
That'd be
integral
full
as that part of the
circle.
show, as anybody. So
Well, and the whole idea is,
Definitely.
hey, we're going to make a shirt out of that photo. I want to try to make that money back as best I can. So there's that too.
I can't wait though. All right, so let's get the fuck out of here.
All right,
We all
everybody. Have a
got,
good
we all
night.
got something to do tomorrow. Y'all have a lovely night.
I'm not off for President's Day, by the way. So
I'm not
fuck
either.
the presidents, every damn one of them that's still alive, and all the dead ones.
God damn. So that's our
They
goal.
don't even-
Yeah.
They shouldn't even have a damn President's Day.
So hey, everybody have a good President's Day. I'll see you later.
Give us the thumbs up,
Off you butt.
like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck. If you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that now.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.